Good morning. It is another Thursday. In fact, if you're tracking, it's probably, if I'm not mistaken, our 12th Thursday of the year, which probably puts us at what, 25% of our sales year, which is not a bad place to be, right? It's a good place to stop and take inventory of where we are, where we want to be. So with that, do we have any gratitude? Do we have any shout outs? Do we have any announcements from anyone on the call this morning? Just pop your hand up or speak out really loud so that we can see you and hear you. Shout outs, gratitude. Kevin Borback, good morning, sir.
Hey, Adelina. Just wanted to do an announcement. I do my every other Thursday VA loan virtual lunch and learn today from 12 to 12:30 Central Standard Time. And today we're going to be going over disputing appraisals and a cool little hack that a couple of veterans can partner together with and start a zero down tax-free business. So join on in. I'll post the Zoom in the chat. Join on in and learn some really awesome things to talk with your veteran clients about.
I love that. I love that. Thanks for bridging your purpose with your path. I love to see it every single time. Nice job. Love that. Any other announcements, any other gratitude, or any other shout outs before we get started?
I'll say one, even though this is my first time. Are you able to hear me?
What's up, Tucker? Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Tucker. I am on the Lennon Kugel Real Estate Group in Lubbock, Texas, where the dust goes to die unless you want to buy a house here. And this is my first time to be on something like this. Shout out to Jordan for giving our team the information about this. But I want to shout out someone on my team named Dawn Mitchell. She has just been great about helping me stay accountable with scripting and just being a better me every day and pushing me, especially when I don't feel like pushing myself.
I love that. That's a great shout out, Tucker. Way to go, Dawn, and way to go, Jordan. Glad to have you on here, sir.
Hey, Adelina, I have one more before we get started.
What's up,
Uh,
sir?
we have a somewhat newer agent on our team, and he's been working extremely hard over the past few months. Finally getting his first real taste of success and pinned his first buyer this past week. So huge shout out to Ronell.
Love that. Love that. Love to hear it. First of many. First of many. What a great shout out. For everyone who is with Place on the call, it is the third Thursday, which third Thursday means it is called night for everyone who does the productivity cadence. So hope to see some cool stuff on our Place later today and see what you guys are doing for your call night. Little friendly competition, a little friendly fun. This morning, speaking of friendly, we have a really friendly guy. It's a little bit earlier your time. It's like 7:36, right, Darian?
Yeah, it's super early for me.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna spotlight you so that everybody can see you, so it's not super awkward trying to find you. So Darian is a guy like 3 days ago, I didn't even know who this guy was, and joined the club, right? Like all of us are joining that club today. And what was interesting was the way that I even heard about him is because he was called out in a group of like 500 people, like just randomly. I think you were doing a share of some kind or something. And they're like, yeah, well, we have you, Darian, right? And I love the ability of someone to just be on the spot, right? Where are you from, Darian? Where do you sell real estate? Where do you live?
Yep. So I am from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay.
And if you know Salt Lake, it's about 100-mile stretch of just people, and then absolutely nothing. So you gotta, I do that entire 100-mile stretch just about.
Love that. I love it. And that is a good example of Utah and my experience with Utah. But I love Utah. What did you do before real estate?
What I did before real estate is I actually worked in social work. So just like probably many of us, real estate was probably not our first option. We probably had other careers until something else happened, if you know. So yeah, so I was in social work, specifically working with children with autism, writing treatment plans for children, and fully expecting that to kind of be my career of choice.
All right. So you had a forever plan.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. And it was a good forever plan. Like, I mean, that is the Lord's work. That is good
Yep.
stuff. What happened? How'd you get into real estate? Like, was it just magical?
Um, Yeah, so there's a couple things that kind of came into fruition. And it kind of started in 2016. So 2016 is my first kind of I guess I swear quite a bit, so I apologize,
Go
but
for
it was
it.
a real shitty time in my life. So I actually had a cousin that was murdered. So that was kind of my introduction to like, hey, guess what? You're 23 years old, your cousin that's the same age was just murdered. You got to start, thinking of what you can do to, you know, like you can't just, sorry, I tear up when I talk about this kind of stuff, but you have to find your purpose in life. You have to be able to see and grow and find something that means more than what you got going on now. So that was my very first introduction to, I need to change, I need to do better, and I need to do more. So that actually led me to actually wanting to do more within autism. Hey, I got to help these kids, I'm on this path of growth and stuff. So I actually went in, I was in a master's program to be a behavior analyst. So I was fully invested in autism and, helping that community. And then we got to about 2019 and this is something I shared at that conference. My father ended up, tragically committing suicide. And so with that, obviously your whole entire world is flipped upside down. You don't know where to turn. You don't know what to do. Um, Unfortunately, he did commit suicide in my childhood house. So me, on my purpose of growth and trying to, figure out how to define myself, I decided to fix his house, completely flip it because it was not in a place where I could really sell it where it was at. So that's kind of my introduction to real estate is I end up flipping my dad's house and I fell in love with that entire process as probably many of you guys did in certain circumstances. And so once I sold that and the agent told me that I would be a really good agent and if you were at the conference, I'm not sure if you were, but Justin said that if you're broken, what do? You go get your real estate license. So that's what I did and thank God I did because it's been a huge blessing in my life.
Was the agent that you used someone, was it a friend or how did
So yeah, so it was actually one of my cousin's friends, and me being 25 at the time of my dad's passing, I would have signed with the first person that I met with because I didn't know anybody. They could have signed me for 20% on the listing. I would have no idea. So
I hear that?
yeah. So, and it just so happens that the team that I'm on right now, Utah Life with Spring Benson, the agent was on that team. So I've had the privilege of, working with them at my lowest point. And once I got my license, I ended up joining them as well.
I love that. What had your would you get in what, like in 2020, 2021? Like kind of
2021 is when I started. Yeah.
okay, 2021. What like results wise, what has that looked like? Like give us a quick synopsis.
Yep. So obviously everyone struggles in the very beginning.
No.
Um,
Oh my God, no, everyone is like mega successful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So obviously
All right.
everyone, yeah. So I was probably no exception, except for I had this burning passion, to help others and get my story out there. So obviously month one, absolutely nothing, zero, didn't do shit. Tried my best, nothing. Month two, I end up getting a referral. I referred my brother-in-law out to Tulsa, agent out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Got my first check. It was $2,000. So stoked, living the high life. Probably blew it all, just like most real estate agents do on their first check. Um, Month three is where things kind of changed for me. Is I actually did seven escrows in that month.
Okay, what happened? Hold on. Because
Yeah,
like I mean, sometimes we could go a year with seven escrows.
exactly.
Like
Yep.
just being real, right? Uh,
Yep.
what
So
happened month three, or what do you remember?
yeah, so obviously, if you know Spring, obviously we know Ben doesn't partner with people that aren't producing and aren't, getting their agents to constantly do more. So the big one for me was I had, people constantly pushing me from day one. So obviously real estate is in a 60 or a 30, 60, 90-day cycle, as we all know. Like I said, I worked my ass off those first 2.5 months before I started seeing the results. So constant cold calls, reaching out to 300 people a day through, this was before Facebook would kick you off for messaging too many people. So putting in as much effort and time as I could to, see some results. And yeah, just started flowing from month 3 until I'm about, 3.5 years, and I've had at least one escrow every single month for that time, which I would say I'm pretty proud of for sure.
I know you said you were doing, a lot, obviously. Were
Mhm.
you working like what, 30, 40 hours? Like, or like,
Oh, way more than that, probably 50, 60. Open houses every weekend, just
okay,
trying to find my place, trying to
okay,
find which lead sources work. Back where I was at, I was on a 40-60 split. They wanted to see you produce before they started giving you the higher splits.
sure.
So I was doing absolutely everything. I burned the boats. The day I took my real estate license, I quit my job. So I was fully invested,
This
dived.
was gonna
This
work.
was it was gonna have to work. The house I'm in now, my wife doesn't work, so I'm the breadwinner. I'm the only one that pays the mortgage. So it's like I needed to get this to work. So burn the bridges and
Did you
just
ever doubt yourself during that time?
did I doubt myself? Yes, absolutely. It's tough, Obviously, you're young. You don't know what you don't know. And there's times where I was like, I'm gonna swipe this card because I'm hungry, but I don't know if it's gonna go through. And yeah, I absolutely did have doubt, but if there's people at the conference on this call, like I think Spring said it, you have yourself you need to believe in you, and if you don't have yourself to believe in you, you just need one more person. And that one more person just so happened to be Spring and Justin. So really two, and those are some strong people that have believe in you.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so you're doing a lot of different activities as you should, right? You were trying to figure out what's feeling like you, what ended up feeling like you in terms of how did you build this business,
Hmm.
right? It's cool.
Yep.
Like, we're 100 plus deals through now. High
Yep.
five. What ended up working for you? What is working for you?
Yep. So obviously putting in the work, trying to find out anything. Just so happens, as you can see, I have a lot of energy. I'm fairly personable. So the one that stuck is the one that I love and most people do love is working with people you know. So my SOI business is what popped off. So I'll take the team leads and stuff to help out, but my bread and butter is SOI. Building the relationships that I've had for, in my entire life and being valuable to them and what has worked for me in that sense is the big one is I just want to see you and your family win. Okay. So that can look like numerous different things. If you just need me to be your biggest fan when you got the promotion at work, awesome. I will absolutely do that. If you need me to be the resource to answer your questions for real estate, absolutely, I will do that as well. If you need me to be the person to answer the phone call at 2 a.m. to pick you up when you're broken, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's kind of my whole structure behind the SOI is being my true authentic self.
Okay, so I have two questions then.
Yep.
Number one, you went all in, like it feels like this is all in. Like this is your SOI, your sphere of influence is your business. How
Yes.
first of all, how did you, because I mean obviously I know you knew people, but I don't know that 100 plus buyers and sellers over, a very short time period.
Mhm.
How did you grow it? What does a day to day or a week to week look like? Like how does somebody even do that? Like say they only know like 50 people or something.
Yeah. So the biggest one, you better leave a fucking impact on those 50 people because those 50 people know 50 people and those people know 50 people. So it's all about, how strong that relationship can be because everyone knows everyone, even if they're not going to use you because they have obligations to use an aunt or an uncle or somebody, they will refer every single person to you because of the rapport relationship that you guys have built.
Okay. So you're leveraging SOI. It's not
Mhm.
just SOI. I want everybody
Yes.
to understand that it's you don't have to know the 100 people. You have to be really freaking great at the people you do know. Is there are you like a like do you ask for referrals? Are you that
Yes.
guy?
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Oh
listen,
yeah.
first
So
time
yeah,
we
yeah.
like chatted, I just want to know like what like how do people know to refer you outside of just like, oh, you're a great guy, Darian?
Yeah. Yep. So scripting behind it. Hey, so and so, absolutely loved getting to know you. Depending on, obviously it's it's a natural conversation with somebody. My go-to is, hey, I've loved getting to know you. If you have anyone, friends or family, and some kind of real estate conversations get brought up, do you mind like maybe throwing my name in there and, seeing if I can, be a service to them as well? So easy. I mean, I've closed 8 deals already this year just from referrals from SOI.
Okay. I love that. What is your like what does a day to day or week to week look like in your world now?
Yeah. So because I worked so hard in the very beginning, things are starting to flow. It's really awesome. I got to go to lunch with friends every day, with client friends. Obviously, I try to keep it professional, go do the lunches with clients, go do, go be able to talk to people about events and stuff like that. And really the big one is just be available. I'm always on social media touching base with people. I also believe to get raving fans, you have to be a raving fan. You have to support people, especially in this day. Obviously, I'll share a little bit more, about my situation and stuff here coming up, but people like to be liked, and I know, and it's so, and I know because I've mentored agents, and they all say the same thing. It's so awkward for me to reach out to people on social media. The more you do it and the more you're accustomed to touching base with people, like letting people know that you're around, being the top of mind when something comes up for any kind of situation, plumbing, electrical, family, anything that where if you have a conversation with them, they're going to come to you, they're going to think of you first. So that's a big one. What I do is I try to be around, connect people with other people to just kind of just build people up in multiple ways.
I want to quantify this for you, just because I was on the other side of it. Darian
Mhm.
has no idea who I am, still kind of doesn't. Like we are just acquaintances at this point.
Not
I
anymore. Now we're besties.
we are absolutely. I'll see you soon. I texted him. I heard his story. I found him on Utah Life website. Found his cell phone. Texted him. Introduced myself. Within like a nanosecond, he texts me back. Then like on social media, like my director of operations like followed him. He immediately like connected with her. Had no idea it was my director of operations, right? Like then like it is a speed to lead. Like this is not just like raw sphere. This is like it is a business for you, and you get to do it with people you start building trust with. Would you say, can you quantify like how many conversations you have a week with people, or is that like something, what do you track? Like, how do
Yeah.
you know that you're actually doing this?
Yes. So, the big one is plug for people that were there, but we use a company called Sisu.
Mhm.
Um, and that's how I track everything. So I shoot for 20 conversations a day. So, and I'd say about 12 because the conversations I'm still having Saturdays and Sundays. When I get some time. So I shoot for about 12 conversations a day, which is 100 a week. And these are new conversations with people I don't know. So,
And how do
and
you not know some people? Because you just told me, oh, I'm sphere based.
yeah. Yep. So a lot of times I will just go through social media and find a mutual friend of a friend and just, hey, I see that we are connected through this person. How do you guys know each other? Awesome. Cool. Start from there. I know it's weird. It takes some time to get used to, but it works. It's effective. And They'll go stalk me. I mean, if you're stalking your clients, they're stalking you. They're seeing what I'm about. They're seeing what I post. They're seeing that I'm a family guy, that, I spend a lot of times with my kids. I spend a lot of times with my real estate family. I started a nonprofit. They see all that kind of stuff, and they see them, wanting to be associated with you. And then when they see that, they start talking, hey, I actually met this guy and he does this kind of cool things. And it just spirals. It just starts building and building and building until you just kind of just get an influx of conversations with people. Sometimes I'm reaching out to people, sometimes they're reaching out to me. It doesn't always have to be real estate related, because real estate shouldn't be the only thing that you are.
It sounds fun. Did you ever hit burnout or no, not really?
Um, I would say stress out. I don't
Okay.
know if I would say burnout, because I
Okay.
really enjoy what I do and I love connecting with people and I love people's stories and where they come from and those kinds of things. So for me, it's fun. But yeah, when you go get, 8, 9 escrows in a month, it fucking sucks because it's so stressful at times. But we do have some systems in place to help with that. We have Sisu, we have our transaction coordination. I have some of the top mentors in the country that help build you up and keep you sane and constantly want you to grow and take care of your mind and body and that kind of stuff. So
I love that. Okay, so you've been doing well with your personal sales because you've been focusing on your personal sales. At what point did you get interested, or did you want to do, or were you pushed into doing some of the mentoring that you do?
mhm.
You have overseen over 300 transactions now
Yep.
for, I assume, newer agents.
Yes.
How'd you get into that, and why are you doing that?
Yep. So just as you can tell, just from me, just kind of conversations, I really enjoy interacting with people, and I talk a lot. And so naturally, I'm at the office, and we have 20, 30 agents around, and sometimes they have questions, and they will gravitate to you because you are doing well and successful. Hey, how are you doing these kinds of things? So just over time, that was just constant. And they started to realize, 6 months into the business, that everyone's kind of going to me about how to engage with this client, how to engage with this other agent, and what I'm doing to be successful. So it was very natural for me to just progress into that role.
I like that. Um, what drives you right now?
Yep. Yeah. So that's a good question. I appreciate that. So couple things. My love for my family is a big one. I have two little boys, and
Aw, how old are they?
I got a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. So I'm
Okay,
actually
they're
surprised
little.
I'm surprised you guys haven't heard them pounding on the door when daddy's home. Daddy doesn't get space. So, so it's fun. So obviously the biggest thing I do is for them and my beautiful wife. And then the other thing is I started a nonprofit. You can see that is dad back there, and you can see a couple different hats right there. So I launched a nonprofit called Stallion Suicide Support, and that's kind of my big why right now, is to build my community for that. So what I do with Stallions is I raise money for families directly affected by suicide. So not before. I'm more boots on the ground, sit down, meet with the families that just go through this tragedy, and obviously I can't heal them. I can't. Anything I say is not going to change the fact that they just lost a loved one or a friend. But what I do is I give them money to help lift that burden. So I pay for funeral costs. I pay for if they need therapy, just whatever I can do. I think that, people get behind on mortgage payments because a lot of times the breadwinners are the ones that, actually commit the act. So whatever I can do to provide a service, money wise, I do. So I give people between, $3,000 to $6,000 to, help get them back on their feet, or kind of whatever they need.
Did you always know you were going to do this? Or I guess at what point did you kind of marry your profession to your purpose?
Yeah. So the biggest one, if you're in my world and you're in Spring's world, she's all about personal growth, developing not just you as a as an agent, but you as an individual. So obviously what I say to a lot of people is my dad's suicide shaped who I am, but it doesn't define me. It doesn't write my book. I get to write my own book. So with being in Spring's world, she always challenges you to do more. So the kind of conversation happened like, hey, like obviously, you know, you're personable, you have this drive that not a lot of people have, and it's because of what you've been through, you know. And so she's like, what can you do, Darian, to leave a legacy, leave an impact on on this world? And she said, you had this, why don't we start working on something bigger? Why don't we start a nonprofit, like help you start a nonprofit to help these families that really need you. So there's not a lot of people you know meeting with people feeling the pains that they're feeling. And so that's kind of how it started is, you know, conversation of what I can do to leave a real impact aside from real estate on the world.
I think what's cool to me is that when I said burnout and you pushed back and you said, well, there's stress out. Now that I hear you say all this, I realize why you don't call it burnout, because your path, your profession is directly connected with the God-given purpose that you have. Um, and it's been defined by different things. Like we all have things, right? That got us to where we are, right? Uh, to your point, it doesn't define us. It does not, but it allows us to do good in the world. And so I see why it's not burnout. It's stress out. Like, hello, you're human.
Yep.
Welcome to the club. Um, and I think when you said, you know, it pushes you, it inspires you to do more. I think that this is why this conference was so impactful for me. I would definitely recommend this conference. I'll put it in I'll put a link for it in the email that I send out after. Was doing more isn't about doing more real estate for the sake of doing more real estate or selling another house or getting another SOI client, right? Is doing more for your purpose. And real estate absolutely is a big part of that. You
Yeah.
and I would never know each other otherwise. And it gets you through because it is a hard business. I mean, do you ever feel like it's just like easy? Or is it like, is it also entrepreneurially like the same like how it is for us here?
Yeah, so I'm not sure how, you know, how the Texas market is, but in Utah, like I said, we have that 100-mile stretch. We got 20,000 agents within that 100-mile stretch. So every person you know knows five, six agents.
Okay.
So it's very competitive. It's very, you know, obviously we're blessed to have a high purchase like price point. So, you know, you're not
How
getting as
high is your
many.
price point? How
Yeah,
high?
so our medium price point is about 560.
That's a nice price point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right
Yeah.
on.
So obviously we probably don't do as many deals as people in Texas, but you know, with our price point kind of being where it's at, you know, it kind of makes up for it a little bit.
Oh, I don't know about like, do you do 20 or 30 deals a year anywhere, you're gonna do real good. Uh,
Yeah.
it'll be awesome. To kind of wrap this up, uh, you've been doing it for a while. You have a purpose, which I
Mhm.
love. I think it's awesome. Do you still like stay in the game? Like, are you like what does do you go into the office, do you like what do you do now that now we're like in year 3 and 4, right? Like it's not like I'm just trying to get started, you know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What does the life look like for you as a professional essentially?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm one that believes that everything good can really come if you're in the office. Um, Luckily, we're blessed with two beautiful offices where we're at that you know, we actually don't believe in renting, leasing. We own our offices. So, I go in and I utilize them, and you know, I'm still mentoring at the best best ability that I can. But yes, I absolutely believe that you need to be in office. If I'm home, like I got two rambunctious kids that don't leave me alone. So work isn't going to be as, as productive. So yes, I believe 1000% in being in the office. Looks like Ann Manning and her team are in there. Props to y'all. Yes, so just, structure, consistency,
So you
and
pop into the office like 8, 9, or 10 o'clock, or like what's
yep. So besides today, because we have a little bit earlier of a call, I'm usually in 8:30. Yep.
okay?
Every day, role playing, just doing kind of what we need to start our day.
Even though you've already done those role plays probably like 50 million times.
Yep, because you need to show the agents on how to be successful, even if they're not going to do the same kind of not everyone's going to do SOI, but you need to still be well-rounded in the other things to show them what to do to be successful.
And then do you have like a time block for like lead generation, lead follow-up, all of that?
Yep. Yep, till about 9 o'clock until 12 is all about finding new business. And then
Okay.
after that is keeping and doing the business.
Okay, love that. And you try to take a lunch, I assume, I hear.
Yeah. Yeah. So about 12 o'clock we'll take a lunch, and then 1 o'clock is when we go and do the rest of the business.
I like that. I like that. How do you ensure that you're there for your family and not working 24/7?
Yep. So 5 o'clock cuts off. That's family time. My phone goes into do not disturb.
Really?
Yep. So clients know ahead of time. This is when we're gonna have a conversation. Don't text me typically past 5, 6 o'clock. I won't respond, or I'll shoot a text, be like, hey, I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Okay, what do you do about showings or like a listing appointment? Like, walk me through that real quick, because
Yep.
kind of
Yep.
like mess
So
brains up a little bit.
you're all good. So the listing appointments are gonna be anywhere between that 12 to 5 doing the business.
Okay.
Same with showings. And if I need to, we got a lot of hungry agents out here in Utah that are willing to, make a couple bucks being a showing assistant.
I like it. I like it. Guys, that was cool. Darian, very cool. I like what I didn't sense from you at all?
What's that?
I didn't sense stress. I sense that you are in flow with your life, and it's a really cool feeling to be on the other side of that. And I see why people want to work with you, because one of my takeaways from this conference was we always say sales is a transfer of energy, but professionals transfer what, Darian? Certainty.
Yeah.
So certainty, like when I'm speaking to him, right, and you guys are hearing this live, right, I feel like, okay, this guy is like cool. He's normal. He's professional. He knows his stuff. I feel very confident in speaking with him, and it feels very conversational. And this is a big reason why you're so successful. The reason you can be so conversational is because you do know your stuff, and you
Yep.
have put in the work, and you consistently put in the work, and you've got your priorities fucking straight. And I think that's really beautiful. I love it. I will send you guys the link to Darian's nonprofit. And I encourage you to find your path. And if it's not real estate, it doesn't have to be real estate. I'm happy you're here. I want you to be here. If it doesn't sound like you, if real estate isn't for you, find what is for you. For a lot of us, real estate is our path to our preferred future. And then find a purpose to work towards, because it's not about doing another deal. Like if that's what your feeling is, I just got to do another deal. I got to do another deal. We all have bills. Like you can get a job at Walmart to pay your bills, right? Like it is epic to find why you're doing this and then go do it to the best of your ability. And Darian, man, you inspired me. I really appreciate you. Thanks for sharing your story in front of 500 people and then choosing to share it with us.
Of
Love
course.
it. Love it. Until next time, Darian. We will see you
Absolutely.
again. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Texas, everyone beyond. We'll see you next week and it'll be fun. Have a great rest of your day. Have an awesome call night, guys. We'll see you later. Bye, guys.